You know what's wild? There's a New York Times article that describes businesses complaining about MBA graduates, over-reliance on mathematical theory, unrealistic expectations, cookie-cutter thinking, insufficient training for entrepreneurship and small business. You're probably sitting there saying, yeah, that sounds about right. Except that article isn't from last year. It's from January 1981. That's almost 50 years ago, and the complaints are identical today. So the question isn't whether business schools are broken. The question is, why are we still acting like they're not? Today, we're getting into it. Before we go any further, if you're an entrepreneur, a business owner, or someone who's tired of being sold theory that doesn't translate into Monday morning decisions, hit subscribe. This is No Book of a COO, where we talk about how businesses actually run when the cameras are off. Welcome back. I want to have an honest conversation today, one that some people are going to push back on, because I'm not here to say MBAs are worthless. I'm here to say that for most people, building and running real businesses, small businesses, service businesses, trades, e-commerce, the MBA was never designed for you. And the cost of pretending otherwise? It's enormous. Not just financially, I mean the opportunity cost, the time, the debt, the 2 years you could have spent actually getting in the game. So let's talk about what's actually happening and what the smarter path looks like. Here's the thing about elite MBA programs. They know their customer, and their customer isn't the entrepreneur. It's the person who wants access to a network, who's afraid of missing out on a credential, who needs a signal to get into consulting, finance, or big tech. For that specific person, an MBA might still make sense. But here's what's happening right now. The industries that MBAs were designed to feed into, finance, consulting, big tech, are being gutted by AI-driven cost cutting. The same people who took the safe, traditional route are now asking, why isn't this working? New college grads, MBA graduates included, are facing some of the worst relative unemployment numbers in decades. Young male college grads are having as much trouble finding jobs as those who never went to college at all. And yet, MBA applications are rising, double digits. Law school is up, grad school is up, and I think I know why. They're buying time. They don't know what else to do, so they go back to school and hope the credential buys them something. But here's what's painful about that. You're spending 2 years and potentially $200,000 to emerge with skills that employers found attractive back in 2017. AI moves at warp speed. Curriculum development moves at DMV speed. That gap is only getting wider. And here's the part I can't get past, and I want to know if you feel this too, so drop it in the comments. The professors teaching business strategy, entrepreneurship, operations, most of them have never felt what it's like to not be able to make payroll. They've never been the one on the phone with the bank. They've never had a product go viral and not been able to keep up with the demand. They're teaching theory. And theory without scar tissue is just storytelling. So let's get into the framework, because I don't just want to point at a problem, I want to give you something you can actually use. There are 3 things happening in the market right now that I think every business owner and aspiring operator needs to understand. Number 1, the trades are winning, and the market is finally catching up. 56% of Gen Z now believe that blue-collar jobs offer more job security than white-collar jobs. 1 in 3 say white-collar work is less stable than it was for their parents, and the data backs that up. The number of 20 to 24-year-olds entering trades has doubled among electricians and HVAC mechanics in the last decade. 3 out of every 4 home service jobs are must-haves, not nice-to-haves. Boomers are aging, and so are their houses. The professionals needed to maintain those homes far exceed supply. This isn't a trend. This is a demographic shift with decades of runway. And here's what no business school will tell you. You don't need to be the electrician. You need to know how to run the electrical business. Those are 2 completely different skill sets. Number 2. Business ownership is the most undervalued path in America right now. There are 5.5 million businesses in the United States with fewer than 500 employees. But look at what's happening in Japan. because this is a warning sign for what could happen here if we're not paying attention. In 2021, 44,000 businesses in Japan were simply abandoned. More than half of them were still profitable when they closed. Why? Because there was no one to take them over. The owners were in their 70s. Their children had moved to the cities. Nobody wanted to learn the trade or run the business. By 2030, Japan's government estimates that 630,000 profitable businesses will close, costing $165 billion and 6.5 million jobs. That is almost 10% of their entire workforce. For context, during the Great Depression, we had 24% unemployment at its peak. Now, we're not Japan, but the same pressure is building here. Boomers are retiring. Businesses need operators, and most of those businesses don't need someone with an MBA. They need someone who understands cash flow, systems, and how to lead a small team. If you're listening to this and thinking, there's an opportunity here, you're right. Drop a comment if this is clicking for you, because this is the kind of thing I want to go deeper on. Number 3, the real MBA is getting in the game. I want to be real with you for a second. Our team here at Notebook of a COO has a plethora of graduate degrees between us, and honestly, looking back, we learned more applicable practical business skill outside of school than we ever did inside it. We learned it in the field, working with real clients, making real decisions with real consequences. The classroom can teach you frameworks. The market teaches you judgment. And so when people ask me, where do I go to actually learn business? My honest answer is, you go do business. You get in the game. You find a mentor or you find a structure that bridges the gap between education and execution. That's the whole reason we built the Operator Academy. Not because we wanted to create another online course. We built it because we saw a real gap. Entrepreneurs and business owners who want the rigor of an MBA education without the debt, without the theory-heavy curriculum, and without spending 2 years away from the thing they're actually trying to build. It's designed to give you the skills a strong MBA grad would have: cash flow management, operations, systems, marketing, leadership, but applied in real time to your actual business. You'd be working alongside myself and our leadership team directly. If that's something you want to know more about, head over to notebookofacoo.com/operator-academy and get on the wait list. We're building this for operators, not academics. So here's the takeaway, and I want you to sit with this one. The most successful business builders didn't succeed because of a credential. They succeeded because they learned faster than everyone else. They took the shot when others were still researching. They built judgment through repetition, not case studies. And the businesses that will thrive over the next decade are the ones that can operate cleanly, ones that have the right systems, the right margins, and the right people, not the ones with the most impressive resumes in the room. If you're sitting on the fence right now, trying to decide between going back to school or getting in the game, I'm not going to tell you what to do, but I will ask you one question. 2 years from now, would you rather have a degree or a business? That answer is going to be different for everyone, but I think most of you already know yours. Let me know in the comments, are you in school thinking about going back, or have you already made the decision to skip it and go build? I read every single one. Next episode, we're going to talk about something that almost every small business owner gets wrong in the first 2 years, and it's costing them more than they realize. If you found value in today's episode, share it with someone who's sitting on that fence. It might be the most useful thing they hear this week. Wherever you are, that is exactly where you are supposed to be. But that does not mean you have to stay there. Until next time.